Hey everyone, I was scouring the internet the other day there and I came across this. It is a video by Riley Dennis, everybody's favourite transgender female. Now you may hear me refer to Riley as darling throughout it, but that's just the way I address women, and if that's what he wants to be addressed by, she wants to be addressed by, respect my fucking pronouns. I fucking hate that gender bullshit. But anyway, Riley is bitching about Supergirl and the queer representation in it. Her words, not mine. But anyway, I shall stop talking for a moment and play this shit.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a really bad intro.
Yes, it is, but I bet you this is a really bad scripted intro with a fake laugh in it. Oh, fuck it, just go.
Hey everybody, I'm sorry about that. It's just, how else do you do an intro for a video about Supergirl? I mean, you could actually be funny.
Yeah, you're not funny. You've never been funny, you never will be funny, and that's surprising since you started off life as a bloke, right? Because most blokes actually are naturally funny. It's part of our charm to get women, you know? And we make a lassie laugh. It's half the battle. Anyway, you're not funny.
Anyway, so I want to talk about queer representation specifically, because if you don't know, there are two girls in a relationship on Supergirl, and a lot of people are really excited about it. A lot of people are also very skeptical and critical of it. And
Who? Who are these people? Point them out to me. Please, just point them out to me. Go on. Just one. No? Right, fine.
I kind of fall somewhere in the middle, but I should say before we get into this, if you're just here to complain about diversity and representation, shoo, go away. This video isn't for you.
No, this video isn't for anyone who has disagreeing thoughts that are not anywhere near in the same line as yours. You know, anybody doesn't think like you, anybody who doesn't, what's the word? Yeah, conform to your ideology is a hater, a Nazi, what's that, a fascist. I'm sorry, do you not realise that? No, that's an argument for another time. Anyway, Supergirl, let's do this.
I obviously believe that queer representation and all forms of diverse representation are important to have in our mainstream media, but this video isn't for arguing about that. This video is for folks who are concerned about good queer representation in the media and maybe have opinions on how Supergirl is handling that.
Right, okay, you just said you don't want to have an opinion if you're just here to, you're critical of it, but obviously if you're critical of it, that means you're not talking, but you just said you didn't want opinions, so make your fucking mind up, really, come on.
So there are going to be a lot of spoilers here. If you're not caught up yet on Supergirl, you might want to do that before watching this video. But yeah, so the ship on Supergirl that I'm talking about is Danvers, Alex Danvers and Maggie Sawyer. I mean, this ship is why I started watching Supergirl, because I saw GIFs of them and I was like, oh cool, like queer girls on TV, I need to watch this show. And
So you only watch TV shows based around queer girls because you fancy queer girls? Because you are a transgender female lesbian? Yeah. I think I'm getting old because that's just fucking retarded, but still.
And I was like watching the whole first season and I was like, where are they? This is not what I signed up for. Instead,
No, you signed up to watch Supergirl, that's why it's all about fucking Supergirl. Right? Because the show is called Supergirl. God, you even said it in the beginning of the fucking video, Jesus Christ. It's not about the subsidiary characters, the supporting roles. It's about Supergirl. Come on to fuck.
there's just Supergirl with every dude in the world crushing on her, which is a plot complaint that I have that's kind of aside from the queer stuff. But
That's because she's not a lesbian and you can't fucking wallop off to her. Sorry. I don't know if you still have the gentleman, but can I be honest with you, Riley? See, if you still have the boys, you're still a boy, you know? Anyway, carry on.
anyways, so in the second season, it's about Alex's coming out story, and that's kind of tied into her relationship with Maggie. And I had a lot of issues with the way that they handled her coming out story. To me,
Why would you have issues with the way they handle coming out story? Everybody's coming out story is different. I have a relative, right, who is gay, right, and we knew long before they would admit it to themselves that he was gay. And it is a he, right? He was gay. We knew long before he ever came out and told us that he was gay, so we knew that. So, but everybody's coming out story is fucking different. What right have you got to look down on somebody's coming out story? What the fuck? Who makes you think you're fucking special, you twat?
It felt very much like a straight person writing a coming out story that they didn't fully understand themselves, but they knew like the certain elements that had to be in it. Like it really.
Right, okay. Let's just have a wee think about this, right? Let's go on to Google, right, and see, just to see who actually wrote or whatever with this thing, right? Let's have a look. Right. Supergirl. Right, I'm just checking on Google for that. Right, oh, there's the movie database. Let's go into there. Right, okay. Okay. Would you please say hello to Alison Beth Adler? She is the co-creator and executive producer of Supergirl, who, by way of reason, is a lesbian. Yes. She was married to, well, her partner was Sarah Gilbert up until sometime in the 2000s, and now she's a new partner is Liz Brixis. I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but they are engaged at this moment in time, which is excellent. She also has 2 kids, by the way, conceived via sperm donor, one in 2004, one in 2007. Just saying, right? So I'm pretty sure the executive producer of the show, being a lesbian herself, a gay woman herself, would have had a little bit of input in how it was portrayed across the screen, you know what I mean? How that character was portrayed across, since, in fact, she is herself gay. Do you see the fault in your logic there, Pip? Yeah? Yeah, that look in your face testifies that you don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about, and you don't even do the simplest look on fucking Google to see who the actual producers, writers, co-creators of this show is. Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with you? Right, let's do this.
Felt like the coming out story that a straight person would write. And I don't mean that Alex's coming out story is bad. I think it's very important. I think it's great that there's a coming out story on TV. I don't think it's like coming out stories are so overdone that we should never ever do a coming out story again.
Right, so what kind of coming out story are you looking for? And I've seen this episode, right? I do have kids, right? So they are fans of this stuff, right? And by the way, I'm just bringing it up now. If you say one word against the Flash, we will fall out proper. Anyway, let's just carry on anyway. So just forget it.
I think they're important and often integral to the queer experience.
Right, okay, the queer experience, here you go. Here's an interesting one, Riley. Why do you specifically go on about the queer thing? Because it's a supporting role, right? And it's not a main part of the thing, so obviously they're not going to go too far in depth with the whole thing. But are you expecting her to go sleep about with thousands and thousands of people? Kids watch this show. My kids watch this show. I think it was quite tastefully done, right? It wasn't too much. It's a gentle introduction into queer role, into gender identity stuff. It's not like getting thrust in really hard into your face like you're looking for. Because remember, children watch this, and people who think their 7-year-old or 5-year-old kid is a transgender are fucking idiots, right? So, to be honest, a nice gentle shove into that whole field isn't such a bad thing, you wanker.
And people like to share those stories, and it's very helpful for young people to see those stories. And I don't know if the writers of Supergirl are queer, if any of them are. But to me, that's what it felt like. It felt like it wasn't explored very much in depth. It was kind of like, this is what we think coming out would be like, and there it is.
You're an idiot. That's because it's a fucking supporting role. It is not a main character. Oh, right, okay. Right, I've covered this in a way. See, if you'd done like 2 seconds, you wouldn't have to put that comment about, I don't know if any of the writers are queer. They are, and they have obviously okayed that, you know what I mean? And they were happy with it. But again, kids watch this, so you can't be too in-depth with anything, especially with a supporting role.
I especially really did not like Kara's reaction to it in the beginning. She just was very rude to Alex, and just it was was awful. And it just really made me not like Kara, and that's like the person you're supposed to like. That's the main character. And then she just came around like so quickly, and they had this whole like bonding, catching up moment, and everything was fine. But like they never really addressed Kara's like pretty strong homophobic reaction. I don't.
What do you mean a fucking homophobic reaction? Okay, let's take out the fact that she's Supergirl and her sister works for the DEO and there's a apparent alien fighting badass, right? Let's take that out completely and make it a real world situation. Now, her sister has just come out to her, right? And she's in shock. And why she's in shock? Well, do you imagine living your whole life thinking one person is one way, seeing them go out on dates and coming home and doing everything that she herself was doing? Right? Only to realise for the entire time she has known her, that is not really who she was. And now, when she came out and told her that she was gay, she was in shock. That's what happened. She's in shock. Right? That's why once she got over the initial shock, she came to realise the little things. Oh yeah, this is actually how she is, how she feels, and this is good. And that's why she got on with it. It's nothing homophobic about it. It was shock, you fucking moron.
Exactly, because I watched the beginning of the second season a little while ago, but I don't think they ever said bisexual or even hinted that that was a possibility.
Why does that fucking matter? Why the fuck does that even matter? Seriously, why does it matter? It doesn't. It doesn't fucking matter. Right? Again, supporting role, right? She's already in a lesbian relationship. Fantastic. Why do you have to go fucking... Why are you always forcing your views on everyone? It's a show for everybody. They're trying their best to represent everything that you bloody want, and you keep fucking moaning. You're never happy. What the fuck? This is going to be you're one of those people that no matter how you try to jump through the hoop for, it's never going to be fucking good enough. You're that kind of person, aren't you? Aren't you? Yeah, you are, you fucking dick. Oh.
It was kind of like, Alex likes girls, therefore Alex cannot like boys. I mean, like, that's fine if she is, like, canonically a lesbian, but, like, just the idea that is one or the other is very restricting and I think erasing of bisexual people. In fact, I'm not even sure if they said lesbian. They might have just said gay. I'm really not sure.
What does it matter? Right, I've actually watched this recently and I don't even fucking remember, and I'm not even going to bother looking, to be quite fucking honest, because you talk shit. I mean, they should hang a toilet roll around your neck for wipe the shit that comes out of your mouth, I swear to fucking God. Just because everybody doesn't have your twisted little worldview on things where you, because you're a transgender woman, and I used the fucking air quotes round when I said fucking woman there, by the way. Right? Just because you're a transgender woman does not mean you have the right to impose your view on every TV show, news channel, every fucking representation in the media. Be fucking grateful they even considered your feelings, you dick. Seriously, you're a fucking cunt. What the fuck?
I don't remember. Don't take my word for that. But I also think that...
Nobody takes your word for anything. Right? I proved you talk shit in the first 5 minutes of this video, seriously. I mean, I showed you the pictures of Alison Adler, you know what I mean? That proves you wrong right there. Seriously. Nobody fucking takes your word for anything, Pet. Really, not at all.
Touched on some things that need to be talked about within the queer community. Like, Alex came out basically for Maggie, but Maggie also turned her down because she didn't want to be with, like, a new gay, like someone who had just come out. And I think there's problematic aspects to both of those sides that weren't...
Oh, there's problematic... I hate those social justice fucking warrior words, those buzzwords. Problematic. Fucking intersectional fucking misogyny and all that bullshit. Seriously, the feminists are ruining the fucking world, and the social justice warriors are all petty, little fascist monsters, to be quite fucking honest. Oh, but that's again a rant for another time. Right, anyway, I'm getting sick of this shit now. I'm going to try and get through this with as little fucking interruption as possible, but more than likely she's going to say something again that's going to piss me the fuck off.
Really taken into account. Like, it's great if someone can help you feel comfortable coming out, but your coming out shouldn't be for a person. Like, coming out is a very personal, private thing that you have to do for yourself. And while I think it can be tempting to come out because you want to be with a specific person, it's like you're not guaranteed to be with that person because you came out. They don't...
Oh, fuck you. Right, okay. Yes, there's no guarantees in dating ever. Heterosexual, homosexual, there's no guarantees. It is a fucking potluck chance. Right? It might work, it might not. At least she came out for a reason, right? She came out because, just to taking aside the fact that it's a fictional comic book character, right? Taking that aside, using it in a real world situation, right? I, again, have a relative who is gay and he came out, and he came out for a person because that person made him finally allowed him to realise and admit to himself that he is attracted to his own gender. That, again, absolutely fine. And he came out to that person first, right, before he came out to the family. But as I said, we already knew. So he came out to that person and he got shut down. It happens. Did it throw him off? No. He came out to the rest of the family and then he found 6 months later the perfect person. No, it doesn't matter if it worked straight from the beginning. In this instance, with the Supergirl TV show, it worked out well. Stop fucking complaining, because not most people ain't that lucky. Be happy for them, you fucking arsehole.
Owe you that. Like, it's not a deal that you're like, if I come out, we will date forever, you know? Like, you don't get to trap them in a relationship by being like, well, I came out for you, like, what are you gonna do for me? And I think everyone's coming out story is different, and some people do have an aspect of, like, a relationship that helped them realize that they wanted to come out.
What did I just say? You're contradicting yourself. You're saying it's wrong, and then you're saying everything that I'm fucking saying. Oh my god, seriously, make your fucking mind up. Either it's not right, or you're agreeing that everybody's is different, and not just your petty fucking worldview. Fuck's sakes.
I don't think it's like necessarily a bad thing, but I think that's an interesting conversation to be had that was touched on in the episode and then just never really talked about. And likewise, Maggie's attitude towards Alex as being like, oh, I don't want to date someone who's fresh out of the closet, that also touches on some issues in the queer community that maybe we should be talking more about. Like
what issues? Right, nobody. What issues in the queer community? It just sounds like you're having trouble finding somebody to date because all the decent people are taken already. Plenty of fish in the sea and all that shit. Right? Maybe it's just simple fact is some people in the queer community, not because they're queer, just because they're arseholes. You know what I mean? Dickheads, twats, wankers. Insert your own analogy for what kind of tool bag they are. You know what I mean? Because of their personality, not because of how they associate themselves with, or who they associate themselves with, or who they choose to sleep with. No, they might just be fucking arseholes in general. Their personality sucks. You've seen those Antifa fuckheads, haven't you? They'll fight, they'll hit first and fucking ask questions later, but they don't even ask questions because they're not smart enough. But anyway, this is going to end up fucking taking forever because you just pissed me the fuck off, Riley, I swear to God.
Is there discrimination against people who have just come out? Are queer people who come out later in life somehow less valid or less queer because they didn't figure it out until then? I definitely don't think so, and I don't think Maggie does either, but that was kind of the implication in what she was saying, that like that Alex hasn't become a full queer yet. And so again, I just think that's something that they could have explored more of.
I think you'll find they were trying to imply that it might just be infatuation, not love. And infatuation can manifest with those kind of feelings, but to be quite honest, I think they handled it quite tastefully. Anyway, if you have any real issues, who cares?
It never really did. And so now, in the second half of the second season, we see little bits of them. We see them here and there. They're spending nights together. They kiss every once in a while, which I think is great. I think it's amazing that that kind of relationship is just being normalized in what is basically a mainstream show. I think it's really good that they're not afraid to give them problems. I think a lot...
Right, okay, right. There's many things you said there that have annoyed me, right? Okay, there's a thing called pacing, right? And also another thing called supporting roles. Their life is not integral to the progression and timing of the story. So be grateful they touch on it at all. To be quite honest, they got to keep the pace of the show going. If they do too much relationship stuff, especially with a supporting cast or character, it's going to throw off the pace of the show, and the show will take more than their allotted time for it to be in, okay? That's why. Now, let's get on with this. Come on.
All the time there's the tendency to go in one direction or the other, and it's to either make them the perfect couple that's just infallible, or it's to make their story too tragic and to make it clear that like they can never actually have happiness. When in reality, a lot of the time it's both. It's sadness and drama, and it's happiness. And so I do feel like in giving them problems and giving them relationship problems, it normalizes them more, because like queer
Normalize. That word shit too.
relationships aren't perfect. They have their problems too. And
Yeah, everybody's does, even mine. Fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm on my second one now, my second proper one. Seriously. Yeah, first one was shit too. Right, but still, we all try. We don't give up. We all have hope. Hey, take a life lesson from your good old friend Kings here. Life goes on. You get better. It gets dealt with. Trust me. Learn from your mistakes. Fucking move on like the rest of us do, who actually grew up.
a lot of times queer people are afraid to talk about those because we want to convince people that our relationships are valid. So having them fight sometimes, having them also just be in the background being happy sometimes, I think is a nice balance. I think there's definitely
But you just... I'm not even going to try.
argument to be made that I've seen a lot of people making that they don't get enough screen time, especially in the second half of this season. They've really moved towards Kara and Mon-El as like the big relationship thing and kind of push Sanders on the back burner.
Again, because Danvers and whatever Maggie's fucking relationship is a supporting one. The roles are supporting, as where the main character is Kara, Supergirl. So obviously her love interest is going to take front and centre role. You are really fucking stupid, aren't you? Anyway.
Obviously, I think that sucks, but like they are kind of side characters as opposed to Kara, who's like the main character. Like I wouldn't complain with some.
You just... What do you mean you wouldn't complain? You just fucking did. Oh. Right, and you just confirmed what I said. Again, they're fucking supporting characters, you know what I mean? That's why the relationship doesn't really feature as much, because it doesn't matter to the fucking flow of the actual program and the pace of the show.
More Sanders screen time, maybe going more into their backstories, especially Maggie's, who we really don't know a lot about. Instead, we're getting this whole Kara Mon-El storyline, and I just think they're a bad relationship entirely. They're that
Yeah, you think they're a bad relationship because she's not a fucking lesbian and she's not fucking trying to dry hump the side of a fucking Maggie's leg. That's why you have a fucking problem with it. People are allowed to be heterosexual, you know. They are. It's not against the fucking law. Though if you had your fucking way, I presume it would be. Anyway.
classic kind of straight relationship where the guy is just an asshole until the girl likes him. And it's just, what? That's not healthy. That's not good. He's awful.
No, he saw how good... Oh, right, okay. I'm going to tell you where you're fucking wrong here. I'm going to let you finish a bit more, and then let you finish what you got to say, and then I'm going to tell you how you're wrong, alright?
He's like a prince from this planet where they had slaves, and he just objectified women, and like, he seems really okay with that. His transition into a relatively progressive Earth society, it seems a little too easy to me. I mean, he was really bad on Daxa. They just seem to have fallen for each other because they both have powers, because they're both not from Earth. I don't know, their relationship just feels very forced to me.
Okay, let's start with this one, right? If you bring up any more points, I'll stop you again. Right? Anyway, okay, so Mon-El raised on Daxam, right, which is a hedonistic planet, right? So all he's ever seen his entire life is slavery, debauchery, stuff like that, right? His parents growing, so that's normal to him. He comes to Earth and sees the progressive society and realizes, not very slowly either, quite quickly, that the life he was leading was awful. And it all started with that little seed. It started when the servant gave him the pod and sent him to Earth, or sent him away. So that showed sacrifice, right? So that was the first ever sign that somebody who was lesser than him would sacrifice themselves for him, right? So that showed personal sacrifice. There was his first one. It gets to Earth, he meets fucking Supergirl, and he shows her, and she shows him what it is to be virtuous, what it is to be good, what it is to be selfless. He takes that on board because this is what he realises how it should be. Now again, we've also got a thing called pacing. Anyway, I've had enough of this shit. Oh god, the fucking did my head in. Listen, if you liked listening to this, hit like. If you want to, hit subscribe. If you want to fucking leave me a comment telling me I'm a dickhead, do so. I'm always open to fucking abuse, right? So, anyway, take it fucking easy, people. Bye bye.